Good evening to you all. Welcome to CSB IAS Academy Current Affairs Bulletin. Krishnashtami celebrations went on well, but due to COVID, most of the Krishnashtami celebrations this year have become household celebrations only. I wish to tell you on this occasion what is the relevance of Bhagavad Gita in ethics, particularly in values. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told Arjuna about one important motivation. In every stanza, in every paragraph of Bhagavad Gita, there is a concluding sentence, there is a concluding words. Therefore you fight, therefore you fight, therefore you fight. You should not become a recluse. Karma yoga is always better than karma sannyasa. That is, action is always better than inaction. Bhagavad Gita also speaks about Nishkama Karma. Do your duty without expecting the results. Bhagavad Gita speaks about Loka Sangraha. You are there to promote welfare. You are there to protect the welfare. You are there to promote and protect the welfare of all people. Bhagavad Gita also mentions about stability of thought, Sthita Pragnata. Sthita Pragnata is very, very important. And Bhagavad Gita's essence is Karma Phala Siddhanta. So Bhagavad Gita is very important in administration. Bhagavad Gita is very important in our ethics. Particularly, action through inaction, inaction through action. Karma Yoga and Karma Sannyasa. We are always fortunate to have Karma Yoga Siddhanta in India. So on the occasion of Krishnashtami, I wish to speak these few words. Let us start today's important news. In Hindu paper today, the most important article is World Health Organization's relevance is fading out. The relevance of World Health Organization is being lost day by day. As you all know, COVID-19 has infected more than 19 million people in the world. It has claimed almost 70 lakh people and also devastated the entire economies in the world. Most of the economies got devastated. As the COVID-19 pandemic goes beyond boundaries, we should know the relevance of WHO now. WHO have 6 regional offices in various geographical areas, and also it has offices in across 150 countries in the world. And WHO is expected to play a dual role, 2 roles. One is a think tank, that is research and also precautions. Second is oversee the global responses for public health emergencies. So WHO should act like a think tank and also global health responses. WHO is not only criticized during COVID crisis. In 2014 itself, during Ebola, the role of WHO and the response of WHO was severely criticized. And there was a famous criticism, in fact, I can say infamous criticism on WHO. And when Western countries sneezes, WHO catches cold. When Western countries sneezes, WHO catches cold. WHO has just been reduced into a coordinating body. The reasons are organizational lethargy, absence of decisive leadership, bureaucratic indolence, etc. So there are many critics who say that there is lethargic, indolent attitude of WHO resulted in lackluster response towards this crisis, COVID-19 crisis. And you all know that China got it in December, November itself, but it took too much of time for China and WHO to react on the issue. WHO, World Health Organization, is funded through contributions made by the member states, voluntary contributions made by the member states, and also private donors. And WHO recently said it has no funds to fight coronavirus. In fact, it received only 10% of the funds actually required for the fighting against coronavirus. And WHO has also said that countries should have a global voice and they should work for a global cause rather than protecting their own nations in the wake of corona crisis. And one more important news about WHO, that America is launched the formalities to withdraw from WHO. All these things shows that America have withdrawn funding from WHO, and WHO is receiving a lot of criticism. This year, the institution WHO have become very famously infamous, I can say. So this is WHO, which is in news today. Next important news: industrial production declines 16.6% in June. Industrial production declines 16.6% in June. Particularly manufacturing, mining, power generation, they all declined. And index of industrial production, according to the data, all the manufacturing sector, particularly mining sector, power sector, they got declined. And index of industrial production is given by Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation also gave a disclaimer after giving this IIP. It said that in post COVID pandemic, things might better. In the post COVID pandemic, the things might better. Next important news is about Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. She has inaugurated National Infrastructure Pipeline Online Dashboard. National Infrastructure Pipeline Online Dashboard. See, in GS3 mains economy, you have a topic called infrastructure. Even in prelims, you might get a question on infrastructure. This year, everywhere, the word infrastructure building in India, physical infrastructure, social infrastructure, is resounding. So, this particular NIP, National Infrastructure Pipeline, is very important. What is this pipeline is all about first? Energy, ports, transport, communications, etc. are very important to build any nation. And 1 or 2 lakh crores of investment is needed. And government promised that it will bring this investment through PPP mode, public-private partnership mode. And we have to make our infrastructural projects. In fact, India has a very good global infrastructure hub where we can make this India world class. So with that aim, we have started a program called National Infrastructure Pipeline with 1 or 2 lakh crores of funding, and government alone cannot fund the entire amount. So government is going for PPP model. So private partnership is also invited in the infrastructure projects. So a dashboard is now inaugurated. What is this dashboard? In e-governance, there is a concept called real-time governance. So every update will come real-time. So the stages of the projects and the vacancies in the projects, and what are the projects, tenders, bidding, and what projects are available right now for the investors. All these things will be available in a dashboard called infrastructure and National Infrastructure Dashboard and Pipeline Dashboard. It is hosted on a website, India Investment Grid. National Infrastructure Pipeline Dashboard. It is hosted on a website, India Investment Grid. India Investment Grid is an interactive online platform which has a real-time investment opportunities. Online dashboard will be helpful for all stakeholders who are looking for information about infrastructure projects. And let's see how it's going to help India. And government decided to attract more investments. And 2019 2020 budget, our finance minister have announced this NIP, National Infrastructure Pipeline, and $5 trillion economy by 2025 is our target. Let's wait. Even in spite of corona crisis, can we achieve this $5 trillion economy target? Next important news, in fact, if it is true and successful, it is a blasting news, I can say. Russia's COVID-19 vaccine was out. The name of the vaccine is Sputnik 5. Russia's COVID-19 vaccine was out. The name of the vaccine was Sputnik 5. But there are concerns about efficiency and safety of the vaccine. There are concerns about efficiency and safety of the vaccine. And here, Russia approves first coronavirus vaccine. And Russian President Putin says that his daughter also got vaccinated. His daughter also got vaccinated. Actually, when you develop a vaccine in the development stage, there are 3 levels. One is you will test the efficiency of the vaccine. Second is you will test the toxicity. whether it is harmful or not. Third thing is, then you will directly administer on the individuals. But as we know that coronavirus is a health emergency, we need vaccination in an emergency mode. So directly, Russia started administering the vaccine directly on the people, on the individuals, and Putin's daughter also got vaccinated. But let's see how far this vaccine is successful. Russia also registered the vaccine. Let's see, but there are things. President Putin said that Russia had become the first country in the world to grant regulatory approval to COVID vaccine. Let's wait and see how far it is successful. If it is successful, it's a good news for the entire world, I can definitely say. Next important news. Delhi's first district e-Lok Adalat disposes of 5,838 cases. What is this Lok Adalat? First of all, you should know what is this Lok Adalat. In our constitution, we have Article 39A, equal justice and free legal aid. Equal justice and free legal aid. And in that, we have an act called National Legal Services Authority Act. Through National Legal Services Authority Act 1987, Lok Adalats were created. And as you all know, due to hygiene issues, health issues, safety issues, physical interaction between courts and clients, lawyers and clients, in fact, the customers who have to go to and witnesses also. So first time an experiment was made that is called e-Lok Adalat for speedy disposal of cases. And around 5,838 cases were disposed of. Delhi have become the first district to have e-Lok Adalat. Let's see, let's wish it's good for all to dispose of the cases very fast, and that too with less expenditure. The clients and the witnesses and the accused should not. Lok Adalat means generally non-cognizable offences, non-compoundable offences. So very normal cases like motor vehicle accident case, family cases, all these things. So it is not that tough to solve the cases through e-Lok Adalats. Next important news. Indonesia. Indonesia is in news because of volcano eruption. This eruption have seen a lot of smoke, ash, around 5 kilometers diameter in the air. The volcano on the Sumatra Islands, the name of the volcano is Sinabung, Sinabung. The volcano on the Sumatra Islands has been rumbling since 2010. In fact, it's a 400 years old volcano, but it started active. It have become active from 2010, and it saw a deadly eruption in 2016. It saw a deadly eruption in 2016. Indonesia's Mount Sinabung erupted. In fact, it belched a massive eruption of ash and smoke. And it has, I told you already, it has become active after 400 years. Indonesia is home to about 130 active volcanoes due to its position in the Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire is a belt of tectonic plate in the Pacific Ocean where there is a high amount of seismic activity. What is this Ring of Fire? Might be your prelims question. The location of Ring of Fire, RING, Ring of Fire, or what is this Ring of Fire? Ring of Fire is a major area in the basin of Pacific Ocean where many earthquakes and volcanic eruptions happen. Many earthquakes, volcanic eruptions happen in the Ring of Fire. Kindly read more about Ring of Fire. And next important news is Supreme Court gave a judgment. Daughters have equal co-partnership rights in joint Hindu family property. See, in India we have a tradition actually. The grandfather's property should go only to the grandson. Professor B.R. Ambedkar, who was also our first law minister, wanted to undo this injustice in 1950s, 1955 itself. But unfortunately, in Hindu Succession Act, grandfather's property will go to grandson, ancestral property. But in 2005, Hindu Succession Act was amended and daughters also got equal rights in the entire India. Earlier, only some states like Andhra Pradesh, when N.T. Ramarao had come into power, he has given equal property rights for women. But now, 2005, the act was amended. Now, daughters also got equal property rights. Then what is the issue? Supreme Court gave a judgment that the amendment made in 2005 will attract retrospectively. It will have retrospective effect. What is retrospective effect? Retrospective effect means backdate application. Generally, civil laws can be retrospective. Contract law can be retrospective. Property law can be retrospective. Criminal laws cannot be retroactive. What is retroactive application? Retrospective application means backdate application. The act will be applicable uh, from the previous date also. Supreme Court gave a statement here. One's daughter is always a daughter. Once a daughter is always a daughter. So the daughters who were born before 2005 or who filed cases before 2005 and who lost their ancestral properties before 2005, they can claim their properties retrospectively. Retrospectively means backdate application. That was the thing. And in this law, there's a word called co-parcenary. COPARCENARY. What is co-parcenary? Co-parcenary means when you get a birthright inheritance of ancestral property. Co-parcenary means when you get a birthright inheritance from an ancestral property, that is called co-parcenary. Okay. European Union announces 1.65 million euros as a humanitarian aid to South Asia. As you all know, recently there are many floods in South Asia. To support those countries affected by severe flooding, particularly in South Asia, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, around 1.65 million euros was given as a humanitarian aid by European Union for food, livelihood assistance, emergency relief, water, sanitation, etc. It's good that European Union responded to support these countries like India, Bangladesh, Nepal. And next important news: can India, USA isolate China? Can India, USA isolate China? Is isolation of China possible after seeing its economic clout? See, China is an economic giant. In fact, most of the investments to the USA goes from China. And Chinese products are very famous in India and USA. Can India and USA do without China? In fact, in the real politic, there is a concept called issue-based friendship. If you do dislike a particular country and particular strategic issue, you disconnect with that. But complete disconnection is not possible in the modern world. Complete disconnection with any powerful country is not that easy in the modern world. India and China, or US and China, a complete disconnection is impossible. At least China should learn a lesson of what it is doing on various issues. Particularly, the running issues are 5G technology, RCEP, and Chinese imports exports. China is asking market economy status. All these things are the running issues between China and the other countries in the world. And Chinese encirclement of India, and the formation of Quad by India, America, Australia, Japan. All these things are a cause of concern. Let's wait and see how China is going to react in post-COVID era, and how China is going to resurge in the post-COVID era, particularly under the able leadership of Xi Jinping. Next important news: former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh have given some important steps for the recovery of Indian economy. Former Prime Minister, you all know that Manmohan Singh was not only our Prime Minister, he was also earlier Finance Minister, and also he was an expert, worked in various international economic institutions also. He studied political economy, a specific subject. And former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh have listed out some steps. One is ensure people's livelihoods and protect their spending power so that they can spend more by direct cash transfers. So make people to spend more, put money in their hands, automatically economy will boost. This is the first idea. Second thing, uh, keep them make them to get some capital, and make some capital available to them, sufficient capital to start businesses, to run their businesses through government backed credit guarantee schemes. Through government backed credit guarantee schemes. And one more important thing is some institutions which are doing really well, like and also some government institutions, they should have proper autonomy to direct the economy. Like say for example, monetary policy committee, government should not interfere. Like RBI, government should not interfere. So there should be some institutions, and the institution should have proper autonomy. And Manmohan Singh also told that whatever happens, this is the first time such type of crisis we are seeing after independent India. Government should take a strong action immediately. This was Manmohan Singh's voice, our former Prime Minister. In fact, according to me, he is more an economist than a Prime Minister. I can say in 1991, when he is introducing LPG, he told a quote from Victor Hugo's political thought. No power in this world can stop an idea whose time have come. No power in this world can stop an idea whose time have come. This is Victor Hugo's quote Manmohan Singh narrated when he introduced LPG reforms in 1991. With this note, I'm ending today's current affairs class. Thank you.